Maria Garland frowned over the accounts. There was almost £30 left from Papa's pay for the year, but the quarter's rent was due this month at Michaelmas, and that was £10. She would have to pay the accounts at the shops. Maddie's wages were overdue, and they owed the doctor and the apothecary as well. That added up to just over £6. There was enough coal to keep Papa's room warm, and the weather had not turned cold yet, at least not very cold. They could do without fires in the parlour or bedrooms. When they weren't with Papa, she and Aunt Sophia could sit in the kitchen, and, come December, the next payment of Aunt Sophia's jointure should arrive. If they needed more coal then, they would be able to afford it. Probably. She sat back, gnawing on her lower lip. Yes, she was fairly certain that they would be able to manage through the end of the year, at least. Perhaps it was foolish to think even that far ahead. Dr. Petersham looked more and more gloomy each time he stopped by. And afterwards. She would not think about afterwards. Whatever came, she and Aunt Sophia would manage. After all, Aunt Sophia had an income of £200 a year. Surely they could live quite nicely on that, but not in this house, of course. She looked around and shook her head at the elegant parlour with the finely carved woodwork over the doors and fireplace, the intricate plasterwork on the ceiling, and the brocade drapery at the windows. Papa had taken this house 5 years ago, back when Mamma was still alive, before his prize money had been lost. They had not been good years. They had been filled with illness and death. When the time came, she would not be sorry to leave this house. She gave herself a shake. There was work to be done, dinner to prepare, mending to do. There was no time for a practical, sensible woman to sit around thinking gloomy thoughts. She laid aside her pen, closed the bottle of ink, and began to straighten the pile of bills. A knock at the door, a loud, heavy knock, demanded attention. She hurried into the hall, worried that the noise would disturb her father.